it's time to think about sending your kids back to school already.
Yeah, so
How'd that
soon.
happen?
Joining us today is Dr. Gentry Yost with the Pocatello Children's Clinic to talk about what vaccines your children needs before they head back to the classroom. Dr. Yost, thanks for coming on the show today.
No problem.
Now, there's a lot of vaccinations that are required, way more than when we were kids, certainly.
I think when we were kids there was one,
Yeah,
maybe
something
two.
like that. Most of them start before the kids go to school, correct?
Absolutely. Vaccinations start at birth, with the recommendation being that a child get their first hepatitis B vaccine before they leave the hospital. And then there's a long, drawn-out schedule of vaccines that take quite a bit of time to get all the doses in. Many of these infectious diseases or bacteria or viruses are not easy to vaccinate against and require multiple doses throughout a child's life, so we call those boosters.
Okay.
And most of the vaccines we're talking about come school time are booster doses, and to renew that child's immunity, further increasing the chance that they will not acquire the disease naturally.
So what's a good memory system? Because a lot of people, like, if you have, let's say, multiple children, like 5, 6, 7, and each one needs boosters every year, what's a good memory system?
An excellent thing to remember is infants need their vaccines 2, 4, 6 months, and around a year there's a couple more. And then if you've done a good job up to age 2, your child's done until the kindergarten shots, which can be given anytime between 4 to 6 years old. And then if they're up to date, then their next shot is until they're 11.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So
The exception to that being the yearly flu vaccine, which we all think is a wonderful idea and definitely helps make our winters safer and less worrisome.
That's
Less
right.
fluistic.
Yes.
So after you get past those early years ones, so then the next one's 11, and now I'm hearing that there's some junior high shots that kids need to be prepared for.
And the junior high shots you're hearing about are the age 11 shots.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's, I was hearing 7th grade, but it's a little bit earlier.
It can be. These vaccines are approved for kids 11 and up.
Okay.
And they're mostly, the vaccines we want children to get at age 11 is the tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis booster.
Okay.
And I can't talk right now about how important it is to be up to date on your pertussis booster. We are seeing more whooping cough than we should. And in fact, as most people are aware, we lost a child in our community, a little 2-month-old, who wasn't old enough to be vaccinated yet, and she died from whooping cough.
Well, and that's what I'm hearing now. We don't think of adults necessarily as needing a lot of shots, but pertussis is one that they recommend that you get if you have small children, if you're a caregiver.
This is an advancement in medical understanding of the immune system, and we've realized that your pertussis booster, your pertussis vaccine, and the numerous boosters through the years doesn't last forever. And we realize teenagers are getting the virus even though they were vaccinated, or the bacteria, and then adults are also getting it. So every adult who hasn't been boosted for pertussis in the not so distant past needs a booster now. And with that you get your tetanus booster as well. So it's a combination vaccine.
Oh, yay, more shots for somebody who's almost deathly afraid of shots. So what happens if somebody happens to maybe miss a window for their booster?
Well, there's always a way to catch up a child. For the family that elects not to vaccinate the young child or moves and misses, there's always a way. And any clinic that you see or go to will have a way to help you decide what does my child need to be caught up. Because there are illnesses that we worry about in infants that we don't worry about in teenagers, and if you miss those vaccines, you're not going to need to be vaccinated for those things.
So just talk to your doctor and they'll make it work.
Yes.
Okay,
Good
great.
information. Thank you,
Thank
Dr. Yost, for
you.
coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, still to come, Olympic athlete Brittany Viola recently spoke about her struggles with bulimia.
We'll talk with a local expert about eating disorders and the pressure to perform.